Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to discuss the Joker trailer that just came out, the final trailer in fact. If you haven't seen it, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. But a lot of fascinating things to kind of take from this trailer. I like that we kind of get a little more insight into the movie, kind of understanding Arthur's character a little bit more, kind of understanding the fact that, and I think you could almost look at this as, you know, I mean, it seems like it might be to a certain extent a very like psychological movie, because a lot of people have always kind of thought maybe it's leaning into the whole like mental health situation, but I think it's like you could almost break it down to almost think of like it's, you know, understanding like how, you know, people use comedy as a way to kind of deal with tragedies as well as just, you know, as a defense mechanism. And I think you kind of see that in Arthur. Like for him, it's like comedy is the only way to keep himself from falling apart, because it's just kind of like this is his dream of being a clown, but for him it's like being a clown is because he wants to be seen, because he spent so much of his life being invisible, and so it's his chance to kind of stand out in the crowd to be seen, and the best way to, you know, be seen by people is to make them laugh. That's kind of like, I mean, when you break that down and think about it, like some people who are bullied, I'm not saying this applies to everyone, but people who are bullied have a tendency to kind of, hey, if I'm the funny guy, I'm less likely to get my ass kicked. That's a mentality, and that's something I've heard from some people, and I think that could be what they might be leaning into, and just like, you know, kind of almost, you know, sad, well, it's very sad altogether, but giving people what he can't give himself, because maybe he's kind of sad and broken on the inside just because of a multitude of reasons. And you know, because there's moments you see him just kind of like practicing, just like ha ha ha, and then he goes like back to just, I know I'm not trying to do a Joker laugh, but he laughs and then he just kind of like, okay, like, because it's a performance, because I think he has to put up this front, but there's parts where it seems like he does enjoy what he does, because he does enjoy bringing smiles to people, but it's like people almost resent him for it, and it's just kind of like, oh, let me go back to being invisible. Like just people, like when I step in that world, when I step into the light, people push me away, so I'll operate from the shadows to a certain extent. I think it's one way to kind of think about in the grand scheme of things. I think it's kind of fascinating. I'm kind of circling on that main point of, oh, being invisible. And it's so interesting because that's why he embeds this whole Joker personality, because it's like, oh my God, look, people are laughing. I'm literally getting an army, a group of people, I'm assuming in Gotham. Once again, we know this isn't pulling from the comic books, but that doesn't mean they still can't have it set in Gotham. Regardless, maybe they'll do a little bit different location and stuff like that, but we got people in the city who are vibing with him. Maybe it's like, oh, I'm not alone anymore. People see me, they kind of worship me. It's like, and it's also interesting because when you look at it where other people get excited and stuff like that, not less the way things seem like they could be out of context, but it could be a situation of he has a secret identity. A Joker's like, oh, no one knows who this mysterious Joker is. He's going around causing havoc, but he's looking around at all these different people. Clown mask on, he's like, oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, I'm so cool. I'm finally being seen. I'm being noticed. I'm being worshipped by people. He's got his own little cult, which is interesting because obviously that kind of plays into Joker in different mediums. Especially makes me think of like the 1990s Batman, the animated series, but also kind of makes me think of Gotham, because that was kind of a thing they did in Gotham too when it came to Joker's character, of like him amassing like the maniacs in town are very attracted to him. And you know, all those who were probably kind of the outcasts who feel alone, they need something to latch onto, and they latch onto Arthur. But what I'm curious though is he going to keep up this like, oh man, who's Joker? Oh, the mystery, does he enjoy that? Or will it get to the point where he's like, oh, I got to reveal to the world who I am? Like obviously, like he's able to kind of do these dangerous and terrible things because he kind of has a secret identity. It's like, oh, who did this terrible thing? It's Joker. We have no idea who Joker really is, especially because you have his followers wearing masks, and he, you know, at one point he's on a train, he puts on a mask too and disappears into the crowd. So it's that type of thing. I think it's going to be that thing of like, oh, he's not Joker, we're Joker. I think it's going to be that type of thing of like, oh, anybody can be the Joker. That hell, it might even be a thing of like, even if he dies at the end of this movie, which could be a possibility, his legacy lives on, that like everyone's gonna put a smile on your face, and that's gonna be like people mourning him and being like, oh, he's not the Joker, I'm the Joker, I'm the Joker. I think that might be something we might potentially get with just the way they kind of set things up. But the point I was trying to make is, I'm curious, is he going to be like, no, I want the recognition, I don't want just to go Joker, it's me, I'm the one that's funny? Because obviously, you know, like Robert De Niro's character, he's kind of like a late night show host. He kind of bashes on him. It's like, oh, look at this guy. And that, you know, Arthur was doing stand up and it's like, oh, no one's laughing at me now. But he's like, oh, sorry. And look, oh, we're laughing. And that kind of pisses Arthur off. But it might be to the point just to prove the point to be like, oh, look at me. Oh, you laughed at me before, but look at me. I'm Joker. The fact of the matter is all this recognition belongs to me. It'd be kind of interesting if they do a twisted thing where it's actually like other people like, oh, you're not the Joker. You're just one of his followers. I'm the real Joker. I'm the Joker. Like, people kind of patronize him a little bit. Now that'd be interesting, and that probably might even send him even further off the deeper. Because it's actually interesting because, like, obviously, like, we see him in a relationship. We saw it in the previous trailer a little bit. We see it in this. But I think being the Joker actually made him more confident, because before he seems a little, you know, introverted and meek. But now he's the Joker, he's kind of enjoying it, he's coming out of his shell a little bit more. Like, it seems like he kisses his girlfriend, like, whereas it seems like he's very bashful before, it seems like he's more confident. So it's going to be interesting to see those elements. Obviously, there's a bit of discussion from Todd Phillips where he was basically saying, like, this movie is not going to have anything from the comic books, so don't expect that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with just kind of getting a story on its own and just kind of seeing this character in this world, like, what they're doing with it. I think is kind of very interesting. Like I said, taking this very, like, psychological aspect to this character and really diving into it, kind of understanding how you go from being Arthur to being the Joker and what that entails, why he makes the decisions that he makes. I'm very interested. Like, this trailer, like, I was already sold on the teaser trailer, but this trailer just drives it home even more about, you know, what you could potentially expect from the movie. That kind of like psychosis of, like I said, he's mentally unwell, but combined with just like him feeling invisible and wanting to be seen. I think, you know, that's it's the thing of like, everyone can understand what it's like to feel the need and want to be seen, but obviously, like, his psychosis kind of like amplifies that, and he goes further and further of like, oh, I want to be noticed. I want to be noticed. Notice me more, so I got to do these grandiose and outlandish and terrible things, like committing crimes, potentially killing people just to be noticed. I mean, who's to say? Maybe at first he doesn't do that. Maybe he does do a little crazy stuff, but then it gets, you know, it's like, oh, I gotta live off this high more and more. I was like, oh, I gotta, you know, you could almost make parallels to modern day of like, I gotta do more to get my following up more and more and get more people talking about me, get more people noticing me, you know. So I think that, I don't know, that's my mind, that's my take on it. You know, that's where my mindset is at. In the comments down below, let me know what you thought about the trailer. What, you know, what does it tell you about the movie? Do you agree with do you agree with what I said, or do you completely disagree? I'm very interested to have this discussion with you guys about what we saw in this trailer. You know, what do you want to see from the movie? What do you expect to see? Let me know. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Until next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.